This life principle that my mother taught us, which is number 8 in the year 2022, kept me out of a lot of trouble. This life principle helped me to rely on my intuition, to rely, as mom would say, God gives us common sense. That when someone was going in one direction and it wasn't in alignment with what I wanted to do with my life, I went in the opposite direction, even when it meant being alone. My mother often told us, don't wait for others to tell you the right thing to do. I believe, whether you believe in God or not, within us lies the truth. The Bible tells us that God placed his truths, his laws in our hearts, our minds, and our soul. We know what's right to do, but often we look to others to confirm what we already know, or even to contradict what we already know. See, principles are not supposed to bind you and enslave you. It is the exact opposite. Principles, to me, allow you, permit you to be free, to live your life in such a way that your conscience is clear, that you're not wrestling with anxiety, fear, anger, denial, resentment, vengeance. That when we know the right thing to do, we do it. Now we may fuss and fight and why do I have to do what's right? I know I've been there. But I've also seen when you don't lead by principles, when you leave them aside and you try to live your life, that the principles are meant to save you. When we ask, why are so many things happening in the world? The greed, the wars, dominion over people, children, going against those things like self-control, being slow to anger, to embrace love, to treat others how you want to be treated. And again, I didn't grow up as a religious person. We went to church a few times, and one day we just stopped going, while other family members continued to go. And I asked my mom, I did ask her, why did we stop going to church? And my mom replied, God is not in a building. He is in your heart. And my mom often told us to seek God for yourself. And I took that as seeking truth for yourself. Nature is truth. Nature holds the keys to many of the things that we need to do that will protect you from going down streets, roads, that will give you the truth that you need. When I was driving and I knew that the relationship that I was not in was not helpful. And I asked God, I prayed to God and I said, tell me, show me that, show me the truth about this relationship. And I turned on the radio. And as soon as I turned on the radio, I heard the name of the guy I was dating at that time and how he had gotten into trouble. The truth is available, is accessible. It's not so much that we go and just dig into other people for the truth, but to dig into ourselves. When coronavirus when the pandemic started in 2020, somehow I want to go to 2019, but 2020, and I had not been watching the news. My mom often told us to watch the news so you can be prepared. It wasn't to be scared. She always taught us to be informed. And informed led me to watching the news and keeping up what was going on. And I had not been so much doing that. And I think it was, over the years hearing people, being afraid of the news, hearing stuff. And to me, it was just a way for me to express gratitude, to learn. Well, anyway, so found out our children were not going to be going back to school. And the whole shutdown in Oregon and across the world happened. And my mom, she was on it. She sent us gloves, masks, shields, masks, shields, everything. And I think it was before they were telling people, encouraging people to wear the mask and just protection. And it just dawned on me, came to me that don't wait for people to tell you to wear a mask, for people to tell you to wash your hands and to don gloves or to wear a shield or to not let your children into the store. Because in the beginning, we limited our children in and out of stores, and I just pretty much shopped for them. And so throughout the coronavirus, just really using protection. And I say this out of complete gratitude that God has protected us, that knock on that we haven't yeah, I would say still knock on wood that, and I started as a child, but that we have been protected, I believe, from the coronavirus. And my sister had asked me once, she said, I don't know, but we've been protected, and she was very thankful of that. But again, don't wait for people to tell you what to do. Often we look to others to tell us. And you guys, there have been people that say, don't wear masks and gloves just in talking about the coronavirus and learning that they were no longer here. Now, I am not judging others. This is not about judgment. This is about really digging deep within yourselves and asking yourselves, what is the best thing for me to do? What is the best thing for my family? And what is the best thing for the community and the world that I live in? Because now things are changing. I heard about, my husband told me a few days ago, several days ago, that in April, they're going to stop with the mask mandate. And because of the hospitalizations, coronavirus infections are down. And of course, I've always shied away from never wanting to feel like I'm telling people what to do, because I believe my philosophy about people is that you know the right thing to do. And the only thing that I do when I talk about stuff, when I teach, when I would teach people, share information as an educator, as a nurse, as a health coach, as a mother, as a wife, as a friend, is that I see that I am reminding you of the truth that is within you. There is nothing new that I have shared with you. Often, what other people have shared with us, it reminds us of who we are and that we have access to the truth. So as we move forward today and with the changes of the new normal happening around us, definitely ask yourself, don't wait for other people to tell you because they may not even be here the next day. But ask yourself, what is the best thing for me to do in my life, my health, the job that I work, my life work, my family, tradition, everything. That we don't have to go always outside of ourselves to get what we know is true. So I want to leave that thought on you. And I am so grateful that my mother shared that with us because it helped me to often rely on myself to build that conscious muscle that is within us, that common sense muscle that is within us, to deter us from struggles, unnecessary pain, and heartache. You know why lives are different? Journeys are different. My journey was different because I sought the truth. I wanted to be a student of life. I felt pain at a young age. And I knew there was a different way, another way of living. And so I sought the truth. I sit outside I was in my bedroom and I looked outside my window and I said, I want to be aligned with nature. A little child that said that. But I sense it was because now in hindsight, is because I knew what could happen because of what I had been through as a child. I knew what somehow within me. And instead of looking at mistakes, I changed that word to life lessons. Instead of regret, I said, I don't want to live my life in regret. I want to know what I need to know. I want to discern right from wrong. I want to seek the truth. I want to see the good in people because it's so easy to feel resentful and vengeance. It's so easy to be angry and fearful, even though I have had those visitors throughout my life. But it is more peaceful, a peaceful rest every night, a clear conscience, a pure heart that says, you know what? There is something better out there for me. And I want to learn how to live it the way that best benefits me. So don't wait for other people to tell you what to do. You've probably been knowing for weeks what you need to do. Take the time, sit quiet with yourself, and say, what do I need to do now? What is the truthful instead of right? What is the truth right now? What do I need to do that will align me with the truth? This is Tamika Chambers with Create a Generational Love Cycle. Remember, what you believe and what you teach, what you learn, you often teach to your children, to others. What you believe, you often transfer those beliefs to others. And the generational cycle of pain is based on beliefs and thoughts that have continued to cycle around the world, hardening hearts, dismantling the family concept. So, with the cycle of pain, there's a change in thought that there is another way to build a tradition, a firm tradition on love.